Hey everybody, it's Pastor Jim, and I want to tell you one of my favorite Bible stories. It's the story of Jacob and Rachel, and I love it because it's a love story. Jacob is looking to get a drink of water at a well, but when he walks up to it, he notices that there's a big stone over the top of it. The stone is there to prevent anything from dying and ruining the water supply, but it's also there to prevent evaporation of the water, because without clean water, the community can't survive. He asks some of the shepherds nearby when they're going to roll the stone away so everybody can get some water. And they let him know, we have to wait till all the flocks gather here, because if all the flocks aren't here, we can't take the risk of moving the stone out of the way. And so Jacob has to do that thing that men often hate to do. He has to wait patiently. Around the corner, he notices, though, a beautiful woman. Her name was Rachel. And so he does a machismo kind of thing, and he goes over to the stone and decides to impress her. He rolls it away himself. And I guess it works because she's so impressed by his flexing and his machismo that she goes home to her dad and lets him know she's fallen in love. And this love story is important because it's the beginning of Jacob and Rachel's family. It's the beginning of the 12 tribes of Israel, the beginning of God's people. Jesus himself comes to a well one day, Jacob's well. And there he meets a Samaritan woman, and he asks her if he can have a drink of water. Now, she's surprised for two reasons. Number one, a rabbi never talks to a Samaritan woman. In fact, Jewish people have nothing to do with Samaritan people. On the other hand, she's surprised because Jesus doesn't even have a bucket. How is he going to get water? What is he going to drink from if he doesn't have his own bucket? Is he willing to drink from my bucket? They go on to have a discussion about Jacob's family and who is the one that's worshiping rightly. Is it the Samaritans? Is it the Jews? And why do they have all these problems between their people? But in the end, Jesus is able to make the connection. He lets her know he's there to put Jacob's whole family back together again. Jesus is living water. And through that, God is either able to gather all the flocks together, and then we can roll the stone away. What if we looked at the Easter tomb the same way? That stone can be rolled away, and we can look in and we can see the resurrected Christ, but we can't do it until all the flocks are gathered. We got to make sure to call all the people of the world together and make sure that they can see the resurrection too. The stone rolls away, but not just for me, for you as well.